How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Coach Javi here once again at Keyworth. As usual, when we come out and do our training sessions, we're out here. It's really windy today, so I'm sure you can probably pick it up on the microphone. So I'm going to do a little bit less talking in today's video. Maybe I'll do a little voiceover to walk you through some of the exercises, but as you can see from the title, a couple of training drills that'll help you improve your passing accuracy. So that's the focus for today. Georgie is actually here on time today.
You are actually late. I've been waiting here for 15 minutes because it's 9:15. Javi's set to be here at 9. So here I am. It's kind of funny. The last video you talk crap about me being late all the time and then you show up 15 minutes late.
Here's what happened is I stopped telling you the actual time that I was gonna get here, and I started going by his time. So now I get here and he was here for how long were you actually here for? 15 minutes, for real? Yeah, nice. I'm trying to make up all the time that you have kept me waiting. So we're gonna hit the B-roll and then we'll get straight into the session. All right, so as I said in the beginning of this video, we're going to do a little voiceover. Just going to try and talk you through the process behind picking some of these exercises and why we did some of them. So very basic, nothing too complicated. These days, I don't have that much equipment to just go out and set up and take hours on end just setting up a bunch of equipment. Plus, I think it's a little bit more beneficial for everyone to see that these exercises can all be done with very minimal equipment, just a couple of cones, a couple soccer balls, and you should be good to go. So it was a really windy day. We started off with just the basic touch exercises, a couple of one-touch passes before Georgie opens up and plays to the far side of the goal. So we have the big goal here, but we're not actually using it to shoot. We're just using it as if it was a mini goal. So when he's doing these exercises, I'm typically giving him a target to hit. So I wanted him to hit the side netting for these first few exercises, basically just passing it into that corner instead of shooting. So I told him not to hit it or not to strike the ball as if he was shooting it, but pass it into the corner because we are focusing on his passing accuracy. So all of these exercises as well are going to be incorporating some sort of a movement that he would see in a game right before he makes a pass or right after he makes a pass. So for example, in this first exercise, takes a couple of one-touch passes and then has to open up and play the ball diagonal. So instead of just giving him the ball and having him pass it directly back to me, I'm having him open up just as he would in a game. So if a pass is coming towards him where the pressure is also coming from the same direction, he's got to kind of open up a little bit and play a pass into, just a different area. And all of these exercises as well are multiple reps back and forth. So by the end of them, he gets a little bit of fitness in because he's doing them nonstop without any breaks in between. And it's all some sort of a touch variation before he plays a pass. So the next exercise is just him in a box. And as you can see, I'm kind of bouncing the balls in, or I'm throwing them up in the air, or I'm just kicking them, just getting some different looks because typically we'll always pass the ball on the ground. But as you know, in a game, it's not always going to be the case. Sometimes the ball pops up in the air. Sometimes it's a longer ball, or sometimes it's a bad ball that comes in bouncing. So I'm having him on his toes, being ready to receive it. So as soon as I play the ball in, he can adjust his body depending on where it's coming from. Basically just pass it back to me, open up his hips again, and on that second touch, play that ball back into one of the corners of the goal, again, just using it as a target. So everything that we do, if we do it from one side, we'll do it from the other. So if the exercise has him positioned to do it with his right foot or to do it with his left foot, I always make sure we do it from the other side as well, because a lot of times people choose to only use one foot, whichever one is their strongest, and get a lot of repetitions that way. And I think a lot of people, it makes them feel like they're doing a good job or they're getting better, but then you have them do the exact same exercise on the weak foot and you can really see the difference. So Georgie will do every single exercise on both feet just to make sure he's getting all of those touches in. You can make this box bigger or smaller depending on how tight you want him to have his touch. Obviously, I don't want to make it too big to the point where it doesn't really matter how bad of a touch he takes, but I don't want to make it too small since we're barely getting back into the training sessions and Georgie hasn't really been training in a while. So this one's slightly different from the last one. Instead of him opening up in the other direction and playing it diagonally to the opposite side, I want him to just open up his hips slightly and put it back into a similar direction to from where he's receiving the pass. So just a little bit different, again, giving him different looks, different scenarios of a game. And I'm also trying to vary the speed at which the ball comes in. So some of them are going to be a little bit easier to control and some of them are going to be a little bit harder. So again, just having him on his toes, being ready to receive at whichever speed the ball comes in from. And I believe we did all of these exercises twice on each side. So he got all of those repetitions, same exercises, but loads of touches on the ball that day. For the next exercise, I just had him standing right by the PK spot. Again, the distance between the passes, we try to vary it a little bit today, but I didn't want him to do anything more than 12 to 15 yard passes, just because we're trying to get back into it. So I just had him stand on the PK spot. I was playing balls in again at different heights. Some of them were bouncing, some of them were in the air, some of them were nice and easy on the ground. And as he receives, I'm just calling out a color, yellow or blue. And whichever color I call out, that's the gate that he has to try and pass into. So when I did this, I did have to remind him a couple times that we're not shooting, because he wanted to just, take a touch and smash the ball into the back of the net. I had to remind him we're working on our passing accuracy. So just imagine a teammate standing in the middle of those gates. Can you connect the pass into your teammate? And keep it simple. For the last exercise, again, I kept those gates in the goal and just passing a ball to one side. And if I call out the blue, he has to hit it in the blue. If I call out the yellow, he has to hit it in the yellow. So the same thing as the last exercise. The only difference with this one is that if he's facing the yellow gate, because that's where he's receiving the pass, but I call out the blue, he's got to take his touch back in the other direction, basically just change his mind and hit the other gate. So little ways to incorporate some of that game intelligence into the exercises. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this session. Trying to focus a little bit on Georgie's first touch, opening up, trying to play into, we used the big goal as really as a mini goal. We didn't use it to shoot, but we just use it because we didn't have any mini goals out here. So just trying to work on Georgie's first touch a little bit, trying to make sure that when he takes his first touch, it's nice and close, and he's able to pick out his target. So leave any ideas for future videos in the comment section down below, and me and Georgie will try and get some of those in as well. But that's it for this one, and until next time.